Flacco and his new team, the Denver Broncos. Again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Just a short time ago, sounds loud enough to revert with the Chicago Bears. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy.
25. The Bears offense heading out, led by Mitchell Trubisky, a Pro Bowler last year in 2018. And, of course, the number 2 overall pick in the draft back in 2017. First carry from Mike Davis, the former Seahawk. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It goes as a loss of 6. And now third down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting up their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Draw play here. Trubisky gives to Cohen. It's Kareem Jackson making the play defensively.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. 16 yards is the pickup there and a first down for Chicago.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Taylor Gabriel, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Bears take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out.
Pass complete to Taylor Gabriel. Touchdown, Chicago.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Tavecchio good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So that drive in total 8 plays, and it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's Flacco off the play fake to Lindsey. And he'll go down down. The Bears get there for the sack. Leonard Floyd, the old Georgia Bulldog, fighting his way into the backfield. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
A sizable gain there, 9 yards as they get it back to a 3rd and 5.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Here's Flacco. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. With a quick slant, good for 8 and a first. Operating out of the gun, Flacco. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try to be aggressive.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Oh, a big decision here early. Look at this. They're going to go for it on their own side of the field. They do snap it. Flacco now. Airing it out for Hamilton. It's caught inside the 25. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward.
But we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw off these beautiful plays. It looks so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Flacco will take to the air again. Screen pass to Lindsey. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Broncos had 15 4th down conversions last year, most in the NFL, and they're going here. Flacco now on 4th. And able to catch it, but he's out of bounds. And the throw took him beyond the sideline, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. A chance to get some momentum here in the 2nd quarter, getting their first trip into the red zone, but unable to get it across.
And if I'm the head coach, sure, you feel some disappointment, maybe a little bit of deflation there because you didn't get it in, but I'm going straight to rah-rah mode. All right, guys, we didn't get it this time. It's only the 2nd quarter. We'll be back. Let's get it later on. I want to keep this team up. I want them to feel like they've let everyone down.
Positive.
Got to be positive in this situation. It's too early to think that you don't have a chance to win this game.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Trubisky now off the bootleg. That's complete right side to Gabriel. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Now they'll run it with Cohen. And he still has yet to get on track in this 1st half as they're going to stop him behind the line.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind He hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. On second down now. It's Cohen, and the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be a third and about 13.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now fourth down. So on fourth down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away.
Let's go. Do it.
A reminder coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football, a good one from Atlanta. Eagles and Falcons, 8:20 Eastern. And then tomorrow on Monday Night Football, Odell Beckham back in New York, back in MetLife Stadium. Now a hit, and Flacco drops the football. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Bears. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
From the 22, Trubisky. This is caught. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Charles, you are the master of abstract facts. So who would you say is the best player ever drafted from Ashland University in Ohio?
How about the only one ever drafted from...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Barreling in for the sack, Shelby Harris.
That I'm struggling to understand a little bit. That close to the goal line, first down, run the football. If you want to throw it, throw some play action on second down.
On second down, it's Cohen. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. The screen pass here to Cohen. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. A reminder coming up at halftime. We'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good 3-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
1st and 10 here for Flacco. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Akeem Hicks at 6'5", 332 finds his way home for the sack. The Broncos in the hurry-up try to get to their positions and get set quickly. Another try after the first down sack. Flacco over the middle. He's got Deshaun Hamilton. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Throwing here on first down. Flacco under pressure, and Flacco's going to be dropped. Akeem Hicks able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon.
Showing it. Red.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still 2nd down.
Like 80. 58 right there. Let's go. You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there. Be wide. 58.
On 2nd down, Flacco to throw. Forced out to it. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
218, chopper. Hey, high 7. Let's hit it.
First throw now for the backup lock. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Second-year punter Colby Wadman out there now for the Broncos as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. It's taken to the 26. Officially, that'll be a 63-yard punt. Well done. And the Bears take over. Tariq Cohen and the rest of the offense heading back out there. It's the 2nd quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going. But we have to do the same.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. The sack by Todd Davis.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. So I'm waltzing down Main Street, got an umbrella, just a torrential downpour, and I look over, and this guy's stone-faced wearing a poncho that says, "Don't rain on my parade," and he is just angry. And we got to go. I'll tell you the rest later. Here we go.
Let's go.
Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because...
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Khalil Mack able to record his 5th sack of the season. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
After the sack on first down, Flacco going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. He's a 2nd-round pick, a solid 2nd round. Pick, but when you're close to that first round, do you come in with a little chip on your shoulder?
You definitely do, because now your money's not the same. But even more than that, it's the prestige. Everyone wants to be a first-round pick, and he thought his talent demanded that. And I do know some teams in the league that had first-round grades on him.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. Play action. It's Trubisky. To the right side, complete to Miller. And he's got this down to the 35. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears. Trubisky will come up here 1st and 10. And he's 8 for 8 now, throwing the ball to start the game. Here's Trubisky. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. The former first-round pick, Kareem Jackson, there defensively. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing, and he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Von Miller, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game. And the pressure gets to him again. Adam Gotsis, the Aussie, with a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
1st and 10, and Flacco looking to throw. Finds his rookie first-rounder. It's Noah Fant. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Play action. Flacco under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. To try again after the sack. Flacco, and we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. The sack there by Roquan Smith. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Here's Trubisky to throw, and that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
But that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're talking about.
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Von Miller make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
It's a gain of 5, and it'll be a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Flacco, he's got his big tight end, Fant. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. Even though this offense doesn't have a single point to its name, they're not totally out of this game yet. A touchdown here, they could be in business.
And how about that last play? Now they've got momentum going, so you know I'm a big advocate. Get back on the line of scrimmage. Throw another play out of while you've got them rocked on their heels.
To pass, Flacco. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Passing play, Flacco. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Khalil Mack, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know.
And it'll be intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it.
Pass interference. Defense.
Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. Oh, a killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marching off yardage against them.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Bronco touchdown. Royce Freeman, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Broncos use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air, there's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender is making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, Flacco completes it to Fant on the right side. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. That's a good way to start the drive, 17 yards and a 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Flacco out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it. I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Now it's Flacco. Oh, no, he lost the football. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. He'll look to throw, and this is incomplete. The rookie DK Metcalf, the intended receiver, 3rd down here. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark, really, start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Hamilton. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Nice, well-coached, a team that understands what's going on. They still have time to work the middle of the field as they just did there.
Mike's 59. Who that? Who that? 59's Mike. 59's Mike. Check, check. 59. Now watch run, watch run.
They're going to try it. Here's Flacco. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And it looks like the Bears are going to win the football game. Well, that's the 4th time that they've tried to go for it on 4th down. They've only converted once, Charles.
And obviously not a good percentage. And if you're going to go for it on 4th down, you think that you've got the right play dialed.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. They'll run on second down with Cohen. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. The Bears on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 19. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Now the Broncos will use their third and final timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. He'll take it a few steps in front of the 50. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. Flacco and the Broncos now down 13-6, 47 seconds remaining. They need a touchdown to the PAT to tie it as they come up 1st and 10. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Setting to throw, Flacco. That's caught over the middle by Fant. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20.
Not too many teams will use a first-round pick on a tight end, so you know that when one does, he's got to be pretty darn special.
A small example of why they took him in the first round there. A nice little catch and run to get the good yardage. Pressure mounting, Flacco. And his ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime.
And that touchdown means a decision has to be made. Do they kick the PAT and tie it up, or do they go for 2 and try and win it right now?
And we've got a timeout. 9 seconds remaining. So now this will be, in all likelihood, to force overtime. And he has got it. So barring something crazy on the kickoff, we're looking at an extra period to decide this one. All square now at 13 all as he sends this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25.
Watch the slack, watch the slack, watch the slack.
And an alley to run. Space to maneuver at the 40. And finally down at the 41-yard line. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now it's Trubisky. And it's knocked away and incomplete. And we have free football overtime here. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick 6 or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting.
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Now he dumps this off over the middle. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots on the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
Now Flacco. This is the tight end Fant. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. On first down, Flacco. Oh, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. Overtime with less than 2 minutes to play, and we are still all tied. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. First throw in overtime now for Trubisky, and that time almost intercepted. That would have changed things here in overtime, but instead, second down. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially in overtime win. That can give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward. And it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses because normally you shake it off, but in this situation, it lingers a little bit longer.
Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now, on for a very important punt here in overtime. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
The Broncos in their hurry-up trying to get to their positions and get set quickly. And now they'll try the end around. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And that'll lead here to a third down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Khalil Mack has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout. It'll be their second and final timeout, remember, here in overtime. We'll be back. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Flacco from the gun. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Watch the slant. Roger, 5-0.
Here's Flacco. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Brings up a 3rd down and 10 yards to go.
The Broncos on 3rd down. Just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This is 3rd and 10. Once more, it's Flacco. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. So that's it. No double overtime until the playoffs rolled around, so that means this one ends in a tie.
Yeah, that's ultimately unsatisfying for both teams, the fan bases. Heck, for us.
True.
We came here to see a winner, right?
We did.
Winner and a loser. We didn't get it. We end up with a tie. Everyone walks away. A little bit crazy.